Too loud. Nobody said anything. You guys have to say something. You have to give me feedback. It's the fucking magic of the internet. It wasn't loud enough. Get down that on time. Oh, wait, where's the chat? That was recording. No, that's AICCS. Hey, welcome to the broadcast on May 5th, 2025. It's May. Good to see you. I'm a little late today. I had to record some stuff, as one does, but I'm here now. Good to see you. Good to see you. Nortel, yes, representing Canada today. I guess in honor of their elections. You can't see me. Actually, I can. Little known fact is that as a streamer, if you're watching me, I can see you. That's how it works. Cinco de Hauso is postponed to probably Ocho de Hauso. We have way too many episodes to do. I'll do one tonight. But we're not gonna do 5 tonight. Well, no one will watch. It'll go to fucking 3 a.m. It needs to be an all-day house thing. If I start it now, no, everyone will go to bed. We'll have like 10 people in here. We'll watch a house tonight. For sure. We'll warm ourselves back into it, but I think we need a full big house day. And I'll be one of those 10 people, Atrioc. Okay, that's great. Ocho de Hauso has to be 8 Epstein. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I am thinking of like a Bionicle type thing where I just skip my day. What is the 8th? Is the 8th what is the 8th? Let's check. Let's just check, all right? Let's analyze. I need a wait 1 second. I gotta fucking turn on there. And I gotta get my bad bitch cut. Okay, so today is what? Monday, May 5th. 8th is Thursday. Do I have anything on Thursday? No, I record podcast on Wednesday and Friday. Do I have anything I need to do Thursday? I'm supposed to record some VO for Isto, but I can move that. So if I don't do that, then technically I could go live, let's say 1 p.m. Pacific. And then we watch a Bionicle length amount of House. Perhaps I dress up like House. We gotta go full House. Saturday, please. The thing about Saturday, actually I could do Saturday. I have basketball in the morning, but it's like at 10 a.m. I'm realizing if I do Thursday, most House fans will not be there because they will not show up at 1 p.m. to watch House. They just have life or a job or they have work or But Saturday, it could really be an all-day thing. House Saturday does not sound bad to me. But I have to commit because at this point we're in House de Mayo. Okay. I'm trying to think of what possibly would come up on Saturday that I'll be like sad to have to cancel or skip, but I don't think so. I have basketball in the morning and that's it. Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Fuck it. Okay. All right. This is an official clip. You can clip me and lock it in because I would like to finish House as well. Houso de, what is that? Diaz. This name's getting confusing. Houso de Diaz is going to be this Saturday. I will start at 1 p.m. 1 p.m. Pacific, and we will watch at least, I want to say 8, but I'll go till midnight if we have to. But there's going to be pauses. So I think 8 is a good number to plan around. 8 episodes of House. Okay? 8 episodes of House. That sounds good. Houso de Diaz. How many episodes are left? Well, I'll do one tonight because I do think we need to warm up back into House. But there's a lot of interesting things I want to talk about today and also interesting videos. There's like I actually put a little list together because I thought there was some stuff I wanted to watch with you guys, including Target is losing against competitors like Walmart, why Americans keep buying McMansions, the Now You See Me 3 trailer, which, how the fuck did that movie get a sequel? And some guy who moved to India and built a $23 million burrito business. I want to pick some of that. So, bro, I work at Target, fuck my chungus life. I can understand working at Target and being like, hey, if this company does really poorly, I will lose my job. And I can totally see that. But in general, you're not receiving a share of their success. So it's kind of like, fuck them. It's like, who cares? Like, it's not like their mistakes are their own. And their consequence. Although, okay, wait, I will say one thing. Well, we'll watch the video. I will say one thing. Some people have, I think, over given credit to a Target boycott for Target's lack of success and under given credit to the fact that the type of person that shopped at Target does not exist. Like the middle class area that shopped at Target is evaporating before our very eyes. So that is a bigger reason, I think, why Target and stores like Target are all seeing. But it's all very interesting in a way and worth talking about. And I'm boycotting Target, but I'm also broke. I think there's two parts of it is what I'll say, is that there's a general, it's too expensive. And then there's, they don't fuck with the management, which is probably pretty real. I'm boycotting yacht manufacturers. Wait, 8-ish. I have to send him the Australian bonus I wrote. 8-ish. I recorded it. Here it is. I did a little bonus recording about Down Under, and I'm going to include it in today's clip, and I just need to make sure that he has it. What's who that saying? Low key, this politics stuff ain't all the fun and games people make it out to be. Yeah, bro, you're so right. It's like, what the fuck? I thought it was supposed to be like fucking fun. But somehow there's like real shit involved. Dude, amen. Fucking men. Any more takes on Australian election? I mean, they're going to be in this video, but I'll tell you some of them right now. Did you see this? Canada's Wonderland accused of drip pricing by Competition Bureau. I did not see this. Canada's Wonderland, big theme park in Canada, being accused by the Competition Bureau, which is, I assume, their FTC or their trade commission. This sounds like a Lena Khan type move, you know? It's like annoying, misleading pricing. One of the coolest things, this is a larger topic, I'll just jump in and opine on real quick. One of the best things a government can do to keep markets beneficial for the average person is to make sure that the information that person receives is accurate. To make sure that one side doesn't have an information advantage that they abuse you with. So hidden fees is a huge aspect of that because it adds more mental stack to the consumer so they can't make the right choice. They can't make the choice that they want to. Like if you are looking at a expensive car and you're like, okay, that's out of my budget. I can't afford it. I'm not going to buy it. That's a fair trade. You can go get a Toyota and not a Ferrari. Okay. That's a fair thing. But if someone says it's priced like a Toyota, but they're lying to you and there's a lot of like hidden fees and shit that end up paying Ferrari levels, then it's actually kind of a fucked market. It's actually kind of it's not truly efficient. You're not truly getting what you want. So Ticketmaster is a great example of this. And that is an excellent spot for like an FTC or a government agency to get in there and make sure that the consumer is getting accurate information. Yeah, so I think this is really cool. This seems awesome. Good for them. I hope they win. Yeah, car dealerships have this problem. Many companies have this problem, and I think it's one of the best things the FTC can do. Click to cancel. So, for example, like if you are signing up for a gym and you look at the gym and you're like, all right, I'll pay $25 a month or whatever the price is for this gym. I'm like, this feels fair. But then later on, you were like, I don't really like the gym. I'm going to leave. But it's incredibly hard to cancel. They did not tell you that up front. That is a hidden cost of doing business that they are abusing to get more money out of you than you thought you were paying going in. That's fucked up. That's not a real fair market. You don't have a real, click to unsub. Yeah, that was a big thing that FTC and Lena Khan got through is that you can one-click cancel things like gym memberships, which is awesome. That's if you don't want to pay for it, you should not have to pay for it. You just end. You're not using it anymore. Adobe's a huge. Adobe's a disgusting user of this problem. Adobe has a lot of issues in general, but that's one of their major ones. All my hobies hate Adobe. We love Adobe, don't we, folks? No, we fucking hate Adobe. We hate Adobe. Adobe's slimy, bro. Although I will say I have gotten one over on, not really Adobe. I've gotten one over on one of the companies I worked for. I shouldn't even say because I'm still using my Photoshop account from that company. They're still paying for it. I log in with my email and it fucking works. They can figure that out, I guess, on their own time. They must have thousands of fucking users and they're just not thinking about it. But I am still on that same. Hey, Cause Hanover, thank you for the 10 gifted. How kind of you to support the channel. Did you have a message or a comment that you wanted to discuss? You said, yo, let's go big A stream. All right, based. Hey, for real. Wait, a couple things I want to talk about before we get into all this marketing and politics and everything is I saw the movie Sinners over the weekend with Ari and I liked it a lot. It was really good, but well, I don't want to spoil anything. But I liked it. I won't spoil it. I'll just say it was a really good movie and I recommend it. And I think it's cool that an original movie, and it is truly feel original from what I've seen lately, did so well. It's doing so well. It's good. I would recommend it. But it's just such a funny thing I want to say, but it's a spoiler, so I won't do it. I won't spoil it. I recommend you checking it out. It was good. WW not spoiling. Yeah, I won't spoil. Ricky Sways, though, thank you for the 5 gifted. Did I want to say anything else about it? No, I mean, I have. Uh, nah, it's spoilers. I'll wait. It's just too soon from when the movie came out for me to be just throwing out random spoilers. All right, I'll wait. I'll wait. But remind me in like a week, bro, because I want to. Listen, I nitpick on movies that I like. I like this movie, and there's things I want to like little poke at, but I don't want to talk about it right now. I recommend seeing it. I hope it does well. I hope it continues to do well. It's good to see more movies like that. I did not see Thunderbolts. I heard they're renaming Thunderbolts to the New Avengers or something. Can someone who's more Marvel coded than me explain that? What's going on with Thunderbolts? They renamed it to the New Avengers? That's the big reveal. That's not a spoiler, bro. I'm driving downtown LA and they have a fucking wall-to-wall mural where the Thunderbolts is replaced with the New Avengers. That's not a fucking spoiler. It's on the street. Okay? Yeah, my understand. Okay, maybe you're telling me that it's all part of like this internal thing, but to me it looks like it's like, hey, we need people to see this movie. To me, it looks like it's like a marketing thing where they're like, hey, we spent a lot of money on this movie. People need to see it. People aren't really recognizing the name Thunderbolts as well as they should. And they need it to be like, this is peak Marvel again. That's the idea. I think that's what they're going for. It's part of the plot. Okay. Well, anyway, I've heard if you're a Marvel fan, it's a bit of a return to form. It's like kind of good. If you liked older Marvel stuff, it's like one of the good movies. But I haven't seen it, and I wouldn't be the best judge of that. It was the better than the post Endgame movies. They named a movie after a charging port. I can't. Was that the inspiration? Is that some guy was looking around the room at their Apple computers and saw a Thunderbolt charger and said, fuck it, we'll do that. Interesting. I didn't expect that. Feels so cavalier. My movie USBC is hitting theaters. Are you excited for Mission Impossible 8? Okay, here's the deal. If I find your message, if I can click on your fucking message, here's the deal. I love Mission Impossible. I love it. I love Tom Cruise. I love jumping on the couch. I love Scientology. Okay? I love Tom Cruise. I love Mission Impossible. I like watching the fucking man run. I've been watching that guy run for now my entire life. Because I was watching Mission Impossible when I was 5 years old in 1997. Okay? Oh, shit. Thank you for the gifties. Jesus Christ, Captain Falcon. Wait, what the fuck? Dude, all you said was the Thunderbolts name change is a spoiler, and then you dropped 100 gifties? So you're mad at me or what? I don't understand. I don't understand why this is I'm being so punished right now. It's because he was gonna drop 200. He was gonna drop 200, but he said I'm holding back because you're a fucking spoiler. And I do feel the sting. It's a compliment sandwich. Anyway, thank you very much. I appreciate that. What was I saying? I was in the middle of something. I'll give my cut to Dan Clancy. Mission Impossible. I fucking love the franchise, but I'll say this. The very last one, Dead Reckoning, it was a stinker. It was the weakest Mission Impossible of them all. It was a snoozer. That's the problem, is they managed to make it kind of boring. So I will of course see the last one, and I'm very excited for it. But I heard the runtime is like 3 hours, bro. Like, why? Why does a Mission Impossible movie have to be as long as fucking Killers of the Flower Moon? I don't understand. I don't understand. I'm very excited for it still. I'm a Tom Cruise advocate. All right, I understand that he's a little odd, I think he fucking loves movies, bro. He's made some great movies. He's entertained me throughout my whole life with a lot of good movies. And I'm excited to see this movie. So I will give it a shot. But and the fact that he's out there, how old is he? Fucking 60 or something? Hanging onto the wing of a plane. It's incredible. It's incredible. So I'm very excited for it, but I'm also cautiously aware that it could be bad. Or just too stuffed. Even almost every, maybe I'm just getting too brain rotted. Maybe it's Twitch that's ruining me, but almost every movie I see lately, I think is like 15 minutes too long. I just think it's 15 minutes too long. Like, just fucking end. Just end on the right note. You know, it's and it's, you know, what's weird is like, okay, let's say you agree that the world is getting more brain rotted. Well, it's crazy that as the world gets more brain rotted, movies have gotten longer. Like, mathematically, the average movie is longer, like 30 minutes longer than it was late 90s, early 2000s. So it's like, you're making it even harder. I feel like every TikTok is 15 seconds too long. This is not the same. This is not the same as what I'm saying. This is a different. This is a different thing. Or here's a base take that I'm going to drop. If we are going to have longer movies, like 3-hour movies, 2-hour 45 movies, bring back the intermission. Bring back the intermission where I can go piss and get more candy and stretch my legs. The intermission is fire. I've never been in an intermission in anything and thought this is a waste of time. I always love it. I always love an intermission. It always feels good. I settle back in and I'm like ready to go. Bro, just piss in your seat or something. Deal with it. Okay. That's one take. I assume you don't work in a movie theater. I assume your take is not informed by working in a movie theater. In India, all movies have an intermission. Based. Just good on you, India. Good call. Happy Cinco de Mayo from a fellow Latino. So glad you're celebrating with us today. Si, senor. Si. We will be watching House tonight, but not 5 episodes. We're doing one tonight. We already talked about this. We're doing one tonight, and we're doing 8 on Saturday. Saturday, all day, big thing where everyone can join. Everyone can skip work and rules and school and everything. You can just fucking lay down, relax, probably smoke weed, and watch 8 episodes of House back to back to back with this chat. We will be fucking. I might try to get a cane for it. Is it Blueprints? Okay, first of all, I ran the credits on Blueprints. Second of all, I played a lot of Blueprints offline. Love the game. About done with it in terms of my ability to do it without looking things up. Like, I just at this point, I probably go 5 or 6 runs in a row without getting anywhere. Like, I feel like I don't make any progress lately. I was making progress every time, and now I make no progress. And so I'm probably either going to ask my brother to fucking give me hints, or I'm going to. I did a lot of things. I don't want to spoil it, but I did a lot of things in Blueprints after the credits. Exhibition 33, guys, that's not really a game for me. Be honest, bro. Can we just be honest? Can we be adults about this? It's not really a game for me. Come on. Can we be real? It's not my shit. It's not my jam. That's not my shit. It's not my jam. It's not my. I'm not a JRPG person. And at least I like Japan. I hate the French. Maybe if the plot was about their nuclear energy, I'd be interested. But I'm not saying it's bad. It's obviously great. It's obviously winning all these awards. People like it. People are playing it. But is it for me? I honestly would rather watch it, dude. I just feel like the gameplay looks like a lot of menus for me. So would we now play it? Yeah, no, I'm in your position. I'm in your position where I just want to watch it, bro. I just want to fucking. Why don't you stream it, okay? And we'll all tune in. Why don't you stream it? I'll tune in, bro. That's what we'll do. What if we made a distributed gameplay series where everyone in chat streams it, but only 10 minutes at a time? So it just switch like a Doug shuffler. It switches from you guys, and then we can watch all the chat collectively play it. It's like Pokemon mixed with Sekiro. I don't know how you like it. I feel like instead of Pokemon mixed with Sekiro, it's more like Final Fantasy 12 mixed with a rhythm game. And I don't like rhythm games or Final Fantasy. Do you know what I'm saying? I feel like that's a more accurate take of it. He's acting like he finished the games he liked. I'll just say, when I hit a game that I authentically actually liked, which is Blueprints, I played it like every day on stream. It wasn't hard for me I played it every day. I played it pretty much every day on stream. I did fucking 20 hours on stream, got to the credits, and I played another fucking 20 off probably. So it's not hard for me to play a game that I like. I think I'm more picky lately. I'll be honest with you. I'm a little picky Peter. Okay? I think there's 2 games that I fucking guarantee I play this year that I will fucking love. Number 1, Silksong, which comes out this year for sure. Number 2, GTA 6, which comes out this year for sure. And number 3, Slay the Spire 2, which comes out this year for sure. By the way, me and Ari are going to play that together. We're going to do a little couples gameplay. We're going to play Slay the Spire 2 on stream. So, those are games that I'm confident, but everything else, Blueprints is a surprise. I'm sure there'll be other surprises. Dude, someone else has to feel the way I do, where it feels like if you see like a 50-hour game, 30 to 60-hour game, it just feels like work sometimes. It's like, you look at it and it's like, oh God, this sounds like I'm signing up for something. I feel like I'm signing up for something. No, I'm not even talking about stream or not. Streaming a game is not the problem. I'm not saying the streaming part of it is the work. I mean, just playing it. Just like, here's a bunch of things I got to do. Here's a bunch of things you've just given me to do. I'd rather read a book. Aw, dude, low key. Yeah. Dude, low key. I've been reading the fucking Price of Peace. I love this fucking shit, bro. I just read fucking 40 pages about the gold standard and I was like riveted. I was on my couch riveted. And now I want to talk about that. By the way, little for the lives. Next book club book in Lemonade Stand is The Storm Before the Storm, about the end of the Roman Republic and how it has similar parallels to today. Well, it's not about that, but they become obvious. This fucking book is written by a guy named Mike Duncan, who apparently is kind of active on Twitter. So I reached out today to see if he wanted to do an interview. We'll see, TBD, but it'd be fucking cool. It'd be fucking cool. That looks like a real long butt plug on the cover. You think this is a really long butt plug? You're right. It is. That was one of the ways the Roman Republic died, is because their butt plugs got too long that it started doing real damage to their rectums, and they couldn't defend the city from the invaders. Wait, is this true? This is 100% fact. I'm reading it right now. Yeah, it's graphic. It's a graphic. It's a graphic. This is the clip that Mike Duncan tunes into to see if he wants to do the interview. Thanks, babe. Hi, Mike. Thank you, babe. Okay, wait. So, okay. You want to see the food? It's steak and Brussels sprouts and rice. All right, W wife. Let's do a quick look at. I want to talk about Warren Buffett today because I think it's interesting. But while I eat, there's a video called "Are Tesla's Biggest Fans Done with Donald Trump?" And it hit 250K, 15 minutes long. Let's see. Well, these are not Tesla's biggest fans. Something's giving it away. Why is it called "Are Tesla's Biggest Fans Done with?"
Tesla customers have grown weary of the controversy surrounding the company and its CEO.
Tesla coming off a 27% stock drop in February.
It's a completely different picture from the one that inspired thousands, if not millions, for years.
Thank you. That's a lot, yeah.
To his admirers, Elon Musk had grand ambitions and was elegantly solving some of the planet's biggest problems. A real-life Tony Stark.
For a lot of people, Tesla was not just an investment or car, it was an ideology and it was a movement.
It really felt like we're changing the world.
But in recent months, many have offloaded stock, sold their cars, and started shopping for rival brands, baffled by Musk's public behavior and his choices.
He went from being somebody that you looked up to as one of the greatest entrepreneurs of our time to somebody that was off his rocker.
Here's why many have turned away from the company they once believed so deeply in, and what Tesla or Musk.
As a gamer, I simply can't see that line of thinking. Okay? Maybe there's some things he did in the White House that I don't agree with, but his Diablo 4 and Path of Exile 2 play is impeccable. It's untouchable. And when I see him do that, I know that he is a real one, that he understands me, that he plays from the heart, and that he is truly one of the top 10 players of both games in the world. So it's just like I can't, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the proof for me. That's all the proof I need. His fat rolling Elden Ring build was truly I was truly blown away by the brilliance of it. It's like, what? Of course. You have some bad news? What about the
Musk might need to do to win them back. Numbers paint a discouraging picture. Deliveries fell 13% in the first quarter of 2025. Automotive revenue, 20%. Profits plummeted by 71%. Used Tesla values are falling faster than any other brand as a record number of owners are trading in the cars. Shares have fallen by roughly 30% in 2025.
Yikes.
Some owners have found their vehicles to be worthless or worse.
I'm upside down in these vehicles. We're getting a fraction of what is paid, and things like FSD that we paid full price for and paid interest on our loan have no value in terms of...
Dude, my understanding is they are getting close to essentially discontinuing the Cybertruck with how many unsold Cybertrucks there are and how few future orders there are. Like, it's just not worth the cost to make. And then isn't there like a Roadster model that people like didn't, this was MKBHD came out and talked about this. He put a down payment on a Roadster model like 8 years ago that is still not out. That's crazy. That's great. You can't take someone's money that fucking long ago. 50K. Yeah, 50K. It's absurd. You take the money early and don't give them a car for years and years. You're just stealing. You've just stolen their money. 250K in some cases. If you give 250K to Elon Musk for a Roadster and you get scammed, I feel like you deserve it. But if you give 50K, you don't deserve it. I will not be taking questions. I will not be taking questions. That's my belief, and I'm sticking to it. Okay.
Of exchange.
FSD is a driver assistance system. Many owners prepaid for the service, which is being rolled out over time, but it has been subject to delays and criticized for failing to live up to expectations. But FSD is just one of the many problems Tesla faces. Brand Finance studies and ranks global brands by value based on expected revenues. Tesla reached its highest point in 2023, breaking the top 10. But then it fell in the 2024 report and further down again this year. The survey was done before President Donald Trump took office.
The reason it's dropped is twofold. First of all, the competition is catching up in terms of quality, innovation, pricing. But on top of that, we've also had the...
Yeah, worth saying. Any of you Australian? We'll talk about the Australian election a little bit, but if any of you are Australian down under, saw the sales figures, BYD outselling Tesla 6-1 in Australia. That's one of the countries, developed, you call them first world, whatever economies that has access to both BYD and Tesla. 6-1 outselling. It's just a mogging. And you could imagine, dude, if we didn't have 125% tariffs plus 100% tariffs on cars for Chinese EVs in America, it would be a real problem here in America. People would be trying them, dude. I hope it comes to Canada. There's a decent chance it could come to Canada. I mean, before, under previous alliances that would not happen, but under this situation, Canada doesn't really make their own cars, so they would have no problem getting Chinese EVs. I feel like the lack of BYD cars in America hurts most Americans. Well, yes, for a consumer, you want as much competition as possible. You want all car companies competing with you to give you the best quality, lowest price, etc. I think there's a fair argument to say that like EVs is such an important industry and the knowledge of batteries and all that you don't want your entire homegrown industry to get wiped out and it all go to China. I think it's a fair thing to say, but for the consumer POV, they want you to catch up fucking quick. Like if you're going to tariff and keep the competition out, you better fucking catch up quick. And they're not really doing that. So I want a Chinese EV bad, but I can see both sides of it. How did the smuggling law work? Dude, I looked at this. So I was thinking about smuggling. Caught Donald Trump, if you're watching. I was thinking about smuggling. I was going to buy a Xiaomi SU7 in Mexico and drive it up because we visit Ari's family in Mexico sometimes, her extended family. So I was going to do that. And then, you look into it and the penalties are really severe for what it is, which is smuggling. It's tariff evasion and, yeah, it could be bad. It could be quite bad. And I'm quite sure that I'll, eventually have a fucking busted taillight or something and get caught. I'm quite sure. And then people saying just pay it. Okay, I was considering maybe paying it for content, before the new tariffs. I'm absolutely not paying like 200 to 300% of my car's value to the fucking US government to it's not fucking that's that's absurd. I'm just not going to do that. That's fucking so stupid. And I will just wait. So, not a patriot. No, I'll just walk and I'll send all the 300% to Trump directly via check.
See innovation, pricing, but on top of that, we've also had the slightly odd behavior of the CEO, which has alienated a lot of customers.
It is apparent to many former fans. Their reasons vary, but they have a lot in common. Problems with service and product quality, frustration with top management, and yes, Musk's rhetoric, social media posts, and work with US President Donald Trump.
Nobody voted for Elon Musk.
Tesla's first quarter results for 2025 were a disaster. A huge number of center left and left to far left leaning consumers will not consider buying Teslas anymore.
A CNBC survey found that half of Americans have a negative view of Tesla and Elon Musk. Only 27% have a positive. Musk's net approval among Democrats is negative 82 and plus 56 among Republicans. But EVs are most popular among Democrats.
If you just look at the numbers in places like Scandinavia and Germany and Britain, people are turning off from Tesla in droves. They do not like his behavior and they do not like his right-wing stance.
I can't walk past the TV without seeing a Tesla on fire. And like, what's going on?
CNBC's kind of biting my shit. Can I be real? It's like, this is the same shit, bro. I felt like a fucking month and a half ago. I'm not kidding. It's exactly the same line. I'm not even kidding, bro.
Like, this is psycho.
Fun viewer.
Stop being psycho.
Tesla is what made him the world's richest person on paper and has given him a lot of his clout. And we're seeing the chickens come home to roost, in a sense, at Tesla.
I've owned lots of great cars, but the Model S was way ahead of its time. This was not only a great electric car, the best electric car, it was just a great car.
I'll fully admit it. When I first saw Teslas, I was like, damn, that's a cool fucking car. I'm not really a car guy. The big fucking screen, the seat warmer, I thought it was fucking cool. I thought it was fancy. But I said, I will not buy one of these unless the owner of this company is radicalizing and tearing down our government. And so I had to wait a long time until I could buy one now. And now I bought 3 Teslas this year because I'm finally a supporter. But until then, I was very tepid. I was very like, I don't know. Can I trust this guy? Is he...
And that was the big thing that changed.
It's called having principles.
You didn't have any sacrifices. You had beautiful styling, you had speed, you had quiet, you had the efficiency.
Tesla.
Atrioc, have you seen the new Chinese EV prototype? Bro, I've seen a million of them. Have you seen the one that can jump? Can we show this real quick? Wait. Chinese EV jumps. When am I jumping over caltrops in my day-to-day commute? I don't know, but if I am, I want to have the jump. Anyway, pretty cool, pretty cool. I saw the one that could dance. Where's the dancing one? Oh, same car, actually. Anyway, obviously there's a lot of innovation. Not sure it's all useful, but that's what you do to stand out in an incredibly competitive environment.
was miles ahead of the competition for years. He was a visionary who bet the farm on EV, and everyone said he was nuts and he wasn't making money. But, you know, he's a swashbuckling entrepreneur.
After all, Musk wasn't just running Tesla. He was launching rockets into space, devising
Yeah, I've heard
hyperloops
it.
and plans to bore tunnels under Los Angeles, doing things no one else could seem to do.
Damn, does he not look like a...
And plans to...
Does he not look just like the evil version of Brennan Lee Mulligan here? Does anyone not see like the Game Changer guy? He's like his evil cousin. I can see it, bro. It's like Waluigi of Brennan Lee Mulligan. I 100% see it.
To bore tunnels under Los Angeles, doing things no one else could seem to do. He was going to change the world.
The hottest stock in the world right now has got to be Tesla. Shares soaring after earnings.
Over time, Musk became more vocal about the threat of climate change and more critical of fossil fuels and the industry that sells them.
The issues we're facing are very serious. With climate change, it's really important that we take action.
Being able to change the EV industry and being a part of something revolutionary seemed like a no-brainer.
That Musk often promised more than he delivered, that Tesla delayed and changed plans and lost money quarter after quarter, didn't faze fans.
He was
I'm a fan of
consistently
FaZe.
pushing very, very high numbers and missing them, but he was accomplishing more than anybody else had at that time.
Jenkins, like some other owners, was also an investor, with at one point over $500,000 in Tesla shares. So was Brianna Jane. She and her husband have owned a total of 8 vehicles, at least one of every model except the Roadster.
Jesus.
We like the products. They're unique. They're different. It seemed like that was
Why do you need
a
8 fucking
really good
Teslas?
investment.
So they became shareholders.
It was 100% of our portfolio.
Oh my God.
And so, yes, we put it.
Jesus Christ. She's done with Tesla? You owned 8 Teslas, that entire of your savings in a Tesla? That's fucking insane. That's an insane way to live your life. It is so much risk. There's no stock that's worth that. Unless it's Nvidia in 2018. Unless it works out for you, then it's fine. But if it doesn't work out for you, it's stupid. Okay?
Put everything we had into Tesla at the time.
Though Tesla's stock was often volatile, it was still a remarkable performer. Shares in its IPO were priced at $17. As of May 1st, they were trading at roughly $284. The all-time high was $488, shortly after Trump won his second term.
Many of the early fans and proponents of Tesla were very focused on its mission, but they missed these operational problems at Tesla that were antithetical to that goal.
But Musk's public behavior shifted over time.
Elon Musk used to speak pretty clearly about environmental science.
Dude, just more clearly in general. I'm not saying he was ever the world's greatest speaker, but if you watch like a 2017 Elon Musk, he just was more... The ketamine theory seems real, bro. He actually was more cogent. He could just do more complete sentences without mumbling or doing a weird laugh or like trailing off or it's not even what he's saying, which has obviously changed, but how he's saying it has definitely changed. Watching his earnings calls now versus older earnings calls is actually a huge night and day difference.
Climate change. In recent years, it's been a slow mission drift for him and for Tesla.
He started attacking people who didn't like something that he was doing, never met a deadline that he promised. You'd listen to the calls and stuff, and it was just like...
Bro, half the people in this chat yelling at him for not missing deadlines when you haven't made a deadline of your fucking homework or fucking 2 years, bro. You got like 19 things due that you're not working on, and you're fucking lashing out at one of your own? A fellow procrastinator? Do I have an MM presentation today? No. And I'm mad at Elon Musk? Did I finish my PowerPoint? No. And I'm sitting here getting mad at Elon Musk for being a little bit late on 100 different promises. It's just, you know, a year of kindness, really. Year of kindness. Thank you for the 42 months, Isto. I'm sorry, I'm crashing out on Elon Musk. When you think about it, we are all Elon Musk. Yeah, for sure. For sure, for sure. For sure, for sure.
What is this guy saying?
Some of his statements related to his businesses.
I'm kind of the Elon Musk of committing to quitting drinking. Okay, bro. Okay, bro, put the bottle down. We're here for you. Put the bottle down. Put the bottle down. Okay? You can do it. You are better than Elon at this commitment. I'm the Elon Musk of medical school. Okay, let's not make it a calling card. Atrioc the Elon Musk of Paper Mario? No, I'm not the Elon Musk of Paper Mario because even though I promised it for 4 years and only worked a little bit each year, I still finished it. I still finished it. He's had 12 years for the same promises, still not done it. I only did it 1 day a year.
And some not, have drawn controversy, defamation lawsuits, and investigations and charges from government agencies such as the Securities and Exchange Commission. This started to take its toll on some once diehard devotees.
522 job is not finished. The job is finished. The job is literally finished. We actually rolled credits on the game. The job is finished. The job's done. The game that I started at the beginning of COVID, I beat last year. That is what I did. It's a 4-year journey. Job's done. Job's done. I can't do it. Job's done. 1,000 Year Door is not finishing the story. It's a prequel. There's also no overarching story. Also, I already beat 1,000 Year Door when I was young. I have no reason to play it. Job's done. Job is done. It is 100% done. Done and dusted. Fucking cooked. Eaten. We had dessert. Job's done. Zug zug.
Started to see that every other sentence out of Elon's mouth was either a lie or an exaggeration.
Fucking true, but cold. Yeah. You also called him Elon. Very consistent. Very consistent with the lie and the exaggeration.
Tesla itself has attracted controversy over its technology and product quality. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration has opened multiple investigations of crashes involving Tesla's driver assistance software.
But I'm sure it'll all be figured out by June? By 1 month from now when they launch it in Austin? I'm sure it'll all be figured out. It'll all work out.
Among other things, Musk settled fraud charges made by the Securities and Exchange Commission.
I gotta be honest with you. Listen, Waymo's not paying me, bro. But I've seen like 100 Waymos in LA near me. And they are very well liked. Everybody that tries it has come out with a positive experience. They're actually doing really well. They're all over. I see Waymos more every day, it feels like. They're really pushing it in LA, dude. Except I will say this, actually fuck Waymo for a second. I was driving to a restaurant. Dom, our marketing Monday researcher, got married and was in LA, and we had a dinner. And I was driving there, and there's a Waymo riding my ass, dude. The Waymo was right up on me. It was not giving me... If I braked, I'm sure it's a robot, so it could brake instantly. But it was like... It was fucking close. And I was like, bro, give me some fucking space. It was tailgating. Aiden wants AI in Waymo so he can feel like he's talking to an Uber driver. Is that a joke you just came up with? Because that's very funny, and I'm going to use that on the lemonade stand. Did you just make that up? That's very fucking funny. I will be stealing that. I will be using that on lemonade stand 100%. That is very funny. +2. Are you not a famously bad driver? Maybe it was your fault. First of all, where did you hear this? Famously bad. I'm definitely not famous for being a bad driver. That is not something that is widely thought about or well known or even true. It's not even a source. And I will say that no matter what kind of driver I am, somebody tailgating you is not your fault. Okay, the Waymo is fucking... Give it a car length, bro. Give it 2 car lengths. It was... Here's what people say. Listen, people have been on this stream and people have talked about my driving. And what they say is that I'm a no-holds-barred, grip it and rip it, bad boy who takes to the streets in my own unique style. And sometimes people get a little, I don't know, pearl clutching because I tend to be one of those people that is heavy on the gas, heavy on the brake. I'm heavy on the gas and I'm heavy on the brake because I want to get going. And then when I have to stop, I want to stop quickly. But it's worth noting that I've had no accidents. 0 accidents. So it's not fair to say I'm a bad driver. I just am it's more like I'm an uncomfortable driver to be the passenger of if you get motion sickness. I'm an uncomfortable driver to be. I wouldn't be a good Uber driver, I'll tell you that. But I am, I get out there. I get after it. How's it so beat up then? My Honda Fit, first of all, it's not beat up. It's a little fucking worse for the wear. I've had it for like 10 years now. The biggest scratch in it is because one time I just backed out heavy on the gas in a parking lot and there was a pillar there. But it was like, of course, it was not my fault, dude. It was not my fault, dude. It was a surprise pillar. Came out of nowhere, dude. Came out of fucking nowhere. You can't trust these things. It's a tiny scrape, bro. A tiny scrape. Surprise pillar. They've been doing those. The pillar was tailgating me. And outside of that, nothing. There's no other situation. It just came out of nowhere. Only scratch on my car, same story. Worked in the same parking lot whole year. Pillar just spawned in. You get it? You fucking get it? These pillars, dude. They're just throwing them up overnight. I don't know if it's a liberal thing. I don't know if the woke are behind it. But there's been people putting up these pillars, and it's messing with the... It's too hot. Boy, it was hot in here, bro. I gotta cool this bitch down. Bro just walked away mid-sentence. It's called being Sigma, all right? Change the frame of reference. If the conversation's not going your way, stand up and leave. This works at work. This works at school. If your teacher asks you a question you don't know the answer, walk up and leave the room. Control the framing, okay? Don't try to let them set the fucking stage for you. You fucking take control. Based, I'll try that soon. I'm an open heart surgeon. Cool, great. What is this? Okay, wait, we're back on Elon. We're back on Elon.
Mission in 2018 over a tweet about a failed plan.
Yeah, it's called open heart surgery for a reason, because that means the room is open. You can come and go as you please. If it was just get it done in one issue, it would be closed heart surgery, okay? But open is like, it's like an open house. Sometimes it's like, yeah, you pass it off to other doctors. People go in and out. It's because you can fall in love with the person operating. If you sign up for open heart surgery, that means your heart is open to new love and that you'd like to be romanced by the doctor. And closed heart means your heart is closed off and you're not you're not ready for that. Okay? So it's about whether you get flirted with or not. Dude, this tweet is so funny. It's like one of the most, it's so small scale now to think about, but it is just blatant stock pumping, because if this is true, funding is secured, then if the stock is under 420, it's free money to buy it. So everybody did, but then it didn't go private at 420. So everyone pumped his stock up to 420 for nothing. And it was just a lie. That is the most blatant example of lying to pump your stock.
Plan to take Tesla private. That tweet was one of the first red flags for Jane.
I ran out of my office and I was banging on my husband's door. And I said, hey, I need you to come out for a second. And he's like, what? I go, sell it now.
I saw tweeting going up quite a lot, started having problems with SEC, started being an expert on global politics, and starting getting into a lot of things that were outside of those two big themes, interplanetary species and let's green up the world.
Elon Musk reportedly is at least a
Wait,
step
did someone
closer.
say her background is abstract Tesla art? No. That's not Tesla art, is it? No. If she had like erotic Elon Musk bearskin rug photos, that
of those two big themes, interplanetary species and let's green up the world.
Elon Musk reportedly is at least a step closer to securing his takeover of Twitter. The Wall Street Journal reporting that the deal is worth $44 billion now.
He was dividing his focus even more. It wasn't just SpaceX and Tesla and some other deep tech things. Now there's this, acquisition, a leveraged buyout of Twitter, and he's dumping Tesla shares to do it. How can the center hold here?
Both NHTSA and the SEC declined to comment. Tesla did not respond to a request from CNBC.
Okay.
Despite their doubts, Jane and her husband remain shareholders. But a trip to the company's We Robot event proved decisive.
We decided, okay, we're going to go there. It'll be a neat experience. We'll be able to see things firsthand and, figure out what's going on, because stock had not been performing particularly well.
Okay.
But she was denied entry at the event.
They said, well, it's one ticket per household, and we gave them to the head of household. And I said, well, who's the head of household? And then they said, look, this came straight from Milan. This is how it is. You've got like 150 men per one female in the crowd. And I told my husband that night afterwards, I said, not just because I'm bitter or whatever, I said, I think the stock's going to go down big time.
Musk had long been involved in politics.
Okay, but it sounds a little bit like you bought 8 Tesla cars and were a shareholder through all of the stupidity for years, and then you didn't get to go to a party, and that's what made you sell it. That feels like the worst reason to sell. That feels like the craziest. That doesn't seem like the right reason at all, but.
He had briefly served as a White House advisor during Donald Trump's first term. But his recent push to get more deeply involved in politics in the United States and abroad has been a final straw for many. Musk donated more than $250 million to various Republican causes leading up to the 2024 election. His role as an advisor to Donald Trump has led to protests around the country. Trump created the Department of Government Efficiency via executive order and put Musk in charge of it.
Some shareholders have a really big problem with it. He didn't appoint someone else to run the shop while he was out doing Doge stuff.
I can do it all.
I didn't buy a car to magnify a political party. And I feel that's very unfair to people who own Tesla stock, and particularly unfair to people who bought the car and cannot get out of it.
Yeah, the
Not
used
everybody
prices are
can
terrible.
sell their cars at a loss.
I just had a friend who brought his car to the shop, and it was like...
Especially people who bought the car or borrowed to buy the car. Like if you have 9 Teslas, you probably didn't buy them all with cash, which means if you sell it at a loss, you still have to pay off the rest of the difference, which is not excellent.
Spray painted with swastika.
Chris Lee is a YouTuber and has owned 4 Teslas.
Okay.
He's made several videos about his ownership experience, and he interviewed protesters and owners in the wake of the controversy.
I always get comments also, and people email me, hey, Chris, I'm about to go on a road trip to Oregon and across this United States. Is it safe to drive my Tesla? I'm scared I'm going to get vandalized. So unfortunately, that's something that we're dealing with right now, and people are really upset with Tesla. But once it passes, I think we'll just all go back to normal.
Sure. I mean, maybe.
Musk is gaining approval in some quarters, such as among Republicans, but they're a lot less likely to buy EVs, so it hasn't offset the losses.
Yeah, I heard that.
Winning back customers and investors isn't easy, and it's not just Musk's politics that have driven some buyers to other brands.
I'm supposed to trust Elon Musk and autonomous vehicle when they still can't even get the sensors right on the windshield wipers. I mean, like, it's really bad. The navigation has gotten worse. It's constantly sending me and my wife to the wrong places.
We were promised a service center in our area quite some time ago. It hasn't come. And mobile service is not what it used to be. I had a seatbelt fixed on one of my vehicles only to have my kids get in the car and find out that they fixed a seatbelt that wasn't broken.
Tesla's future is far from secure. There's much more competition, and Tesla has been making some risky bets on autonomous vehicles and robots.
They were once seen as pioneering, and now they're seen as a bit of a lag.
Well, I feel like the robots thing is so, like, nobody's buying it. I don't know anyone who's like truly, some people are excited for the autonomous. And I think there's an argument to be made. They have more vehicles than a Waymo. If they can find a way to do it without killing people, then okay. But the robot, I do not see any true hype for it, any groundswell of like a ton of consumers who are excited to pay 20 grand plus for a robot like that. It feels very gimmicky. I don't know. Tries investing. I'm not saying robotics is not a field that will continue to grow. I'm saying, like a near-term personal robot does not seem like a real business case. People buying humanoid personal robots for themselves, not for like businesses, not for like factories. It feels very. I just don't see it. I'll say I'm a big skeptic of not just Elon, but anyone making a real use case to sell. The Jetson style robot of robot's gonna wash your dishes or whatever, or walk around your house. I think unlikely, but.
Haggard in the autonomous vehicle space. People in robotics think
Roombas already exist. Bro, the fucking Roomba it's like a job. It's not a job, but the Roomba gets stuck so often, we stopped using it. Managing the Roomba was more trouble than just cleaning up the thing, just fucking sweeping. It's stupid. The Roomba's dumb. Why do I need a robot when I got my... Okay, Jesus Christ. I can't fuck a Roomba. Okay, well. With your dick size, I think you can, first of all. Keep trying.
You know, if they do the right thing with all the data and video they're amassing, they have a real shot, but it's just past due and they're ceding ground at this point.
Musk said on the Q1 2025 company earnings call that he planned to reduce his time in the Trump White House.
Yeah.
You're invited to stay as long as you want. At some point, I guess he wants to get back home to his car.
That means spending 2 days a week on his government.
If I talk about this meeting was so crazy. This meeting was so North Korean. Everybody went around the fucking table with Gulf of America hats and said, "Dear leadership," bro. They had to open, it was like everybody giving their update on their part of the government, Secretary of State, whatever, but they all opened with like a fucking minute-long speech about how nothing they did would have been possible without the fucking glorious, wise leadership of our dear leader, and how you've made America in a golden age in record time, and how we bask in your glorious sunlight, King. And then they would, I'm not even exaggerating, bro. It was crazy. It was, everyone had to do it. There wasn't just like somebody giving a regular status update You know, I've been in boardroom meetings with a powerful CEO, a Jensen Huang. People didn't do that. They just gave their fucking update. He would yell at you if you did that. That would be crazy. That would be. You have to really be kind of narcissistic, and kind is understatement.
That means spending 2 days a week on his government work. Is that enough to run a public company that's at this inflection point where they're facing competition from China, a decline in the brand's reputation?
But if Musk's image is tarnished, returning to Tesla might not help at all.
I think most public companies probably would not have tolerated what he has been doing for the last 6 months, but it isn't a normal company. He is in control. And so really, someone ought to be reasoning with him to say, look, we do actually think you're a distraction.
Elon could turn it around if he chose to. But first of all, it's got to be, do we even have a problem? Do we even care? And is this a path we want to go down?
When you have a problem.
For me, I would like to see a return to Tesla fundamentals, which was supposed to be about sustainable energy. I think there's a lot of great people at Tesla who have a voice that we should hear more from.
So they did. I mean, was the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times story? I don't know if it was. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, it was Wall Street Journal. Okay. They claim that there was a search, that the Tesla board did have an open search to find a CEO to replace Elon Musk. Now, the theory is that they were doing that to kind of scare him, to kind of be like, hey, you are doing so many other things. The stock is in half. We have to. And the idea was to like put a fire under his ass to go back. Now, he has vociferously denied this. He got fucking furious on Twitter. He said this never happened. This story is fake news. No one's ever thought about replacing him. He's the fucking... but they stuck by the reporting. So this is a recent story. And it's by Emily Glazer. You think she would glaze, but she's not glazing. And they make the claim that board members wanted them to spend more time on Tesla and had been looking at a replacement. Hours after this article was published, Tesla issued a denial on X. Musk also criticized the article in a post on X. The CEO of Tesla is Elon Musk, and the board is highly confident in his ability to continue executing on the exciting growth plan ahead, Tesla chair Robin Denholm said. Except Tesla chair Robin Denholm is selling so much Tesla stock, it's crazy. I think she has dumped like all her holdings in 3 months. So it's just funny that she's acting like there's no problems. Yeah, I don't know. That's I wonder who would even be able to. What if they got Trump? What if Trump was the CEO of Tesla and president at the same time? That would probably fix things up. That would probably like, do you know what I'm saying? That would get voters understood. They would get it back on the chance. And Pope. That'd be good. That's a fucking full-time job. Sam Bankman-Fried gets out of jail to be the CEO of fucking Tesla. Shaq as Tesla CEO. I mean, here's the thing. So Tesla's still extraordinarily overvalued because of the Musk premium. And so getting rid of him would be damaging to the stock, even if better for the company long-term. That was my theory in my video, and I stand by it. However, there's a realistic chance if you found like here's the problem is nobody who ever speaks up on the earnings call sounds confident. But if you had a well-spoken Tesla engineer who was very tech-forward, who could speak authentically about the product and could be like a new, lesser known, but like unproblematic tech guy, a Jensen kind of guy, a Tony Stark kind of guy, I think there's a realistic chance you could get a bounce. Especially if you timed it with the release of some kind of newer or rolled out product. I think that's a realistic strategy if you really thought Elon was toxic going forward. But I don't know enough about internal Tesla engineers who could speak well. I'll tell you, whenever he asks people to talk on the earnings calls, they're all terrible. They all sound fucking worse than he does, and he sounds bad. So I don't know. I don't know. I think Tesla's screwed either way. Bad cars, bad CEO, extreme tariffs equals dead company. I'm not saying I disagree. I'm pretty negative on the future of Tesla's prospects, but they're actually one of the best positioned companies against these tariffs because they can sell in America in a way that Chinese EVs can't. And the way the tariffs are written actually exempts them from things. So they're actually, the tariffs is it hurts everybody. It's not great, but it hurts their competitors more. So it's not crazy. I mean, the tariffs are, I think, really dumb and will be gone. People will not stand. Once we get later into May and June, I think the backlash is just going to intensify. How low do stocks have to go for the shares he put up as collateral to buy Twitter to be sold? This is actually no longer an issue for him because he got XAI to buy Twitter completely. So he has been made whole on those. He no longer has a risk of Tesla downturns affecting his. That's why it was a relatively smart move. The thing that would collapse that is if XAI starts tumbling in valuation. If there's like an AI bubble pop, then he would be really fucked on that end. Did you see any good shows lately? Out of Elon real quick. Let's just say, has anyone seen the show The Studio? Apple TV show, Studio? It's about a really terrible Hollywood studio executive trying to... it's played by Seth Rogen. Trying to survive in modern day Hollywood where like you have to like TikTok market things. And anyway, I watched it, not all of it, but some of it relatively recently. And it was really funny. It was like pretty damn funny. I liked it a lot. I would pirate it maybe. But I thought it's got Martin Scorsese in it, by the way. He has a cameo as himself and I won't spoil it, but he makes Martin Scorsese cry. He is that bad of a studio executive. That's the idea. So like the cameos are all really big stars and they all play themselves and it's pretty funny. So I'm just giving you a slight recommendation if you're looking for something that's like, here, I'll give you the pitch on the episode that really sold it for someone else who told it to me is he is trying to make a Barbie type movie because Barbie was a smash hit. So he's like, all right, we're going to make a movie about the Kool-Aid man. They get the rights to Kool-Aid. They're going to make a Kool-Aid movie. And the entire episode is them trying to decide what the cast of the Kool-Aid voice actors will be that isn't racist. They have like Ice Cube as the Kool-Aid man. Like, is it racist because he's black or is it? And he's like panicking and they're like, and it's actually, I mean, it's a funny episode. If you watch that episode alone, standalone, you'll probably laugh. And it's, it's called The Studio. I'm just giving a rec because I liked it. And I haven't seen a good comedy that I've liked recently and I thought it was good. Sounds like Curb in a way. Yeah. It'd be more racist if he wasn't black. Yeah, they say that. Yeah. What's it called? It's called The Studio. I mean, it's on Apple. I don't have Apple. I pirated it. I'll be honest. Caught, Scorsese. I'm caught. Okay. I pirated it. Cause Apple's I don't have an iPhone, bro. I'm gonna fucking get the whole Apple ecosystem. Oh, it's not for me. FBI, that's him. Dan Clancy, this guy. You wouldn't steal a font. Pays for every news subscription, but doesn't have $4.99. The thing about the news subscriptions is that they're business expenses because I use them for Marketing Monday. So it doesn't feel, it feels like it's all on the business account. But when I have to pay it on my own and I look at the Rocket Money, I'm like, fucking cancel that shit. I don't want to, I didn't watch anything this past month, so I cancel it. I guess I talked about it now. I talked about the studio right now, so maybe it is a business expense. If we make a clip out of it. What other shows? Oh, Andor season 2 is incredible. It's incredible. I will highly recommend it every moment I can. I think not enough people are fucking with Andor, and you will enjoy it. It's really good. And then, I don't think I've seen anything else. I don't think I've seen anything else. I haven't seen White Lotus. I haven't seen Severance, and I haven't seen Last of Us 2. Although I did see. Okay, spoilers if you never played Last of Us. Spoilers, but deal with it, okay? Last of Us Season 2 finally got to the part where, spoilers, Joel dies. I haven't seen the show. I'm just saying I've heard this. And just like when this happened years ago with the video game, everyone is freaking out and viewership is down. It's like they could have seen it coming. It's happening exactly the same. It's just like normies instead of gamers, but they are going through the exact same pattern where they're getting mad. They're like, they fucking ruined it. It's crazy. I mean, they're just following a story that already existed. And yeah, the ratings are down, which is wild. For what it's worth, I don't know. We're getting Fs. We're good. For what it's worth, I liked Last of Us 2, the game. I haven't seen the show. I liked it. I don't have a problem with fucking Abby. I don't have a problem. I liked it. I thought it was a good game. I liked both Last of Us. So I'm not on that train. I'm not on that wave. But it's just funny that it happened exactly the same. I thought the I shouldn't spoil it, I guess. But I thought the final battle of Last of Us 2 was good. I don't know. I felt good about the game, both games. The problem I have with Last of Us is less any storyline choice and more that they keep remastering it every year and a half for the last 10 years. That's what why the fuck do they do that? Why do I gotta see we watch an E3 on this stream where we watch a Game Awards every year and they're announcing a new fucking Last of Us? Easy money? Who's buying it though? It's crazy. They have released the same 2 games 6 times. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Fucking move on, dude. Although, again, Oblivion Remastered is the 3rd best-selling game of this year. That's crazy. They surprise drop Oblivion with better graphics, not even changing anything else. That shit's selling like hotcakes. That shit's selling so well. One of the best games of all time. Dude, it's kind of fucked that you guys are all on the train now. Because if you flash backwards 1 month and I were to say my take, which is, hey, Oblivion's a better game than Skyrim. I fucking loved Oblivion. Oblivion's awesome. People would be like, you're a fucking boomer. We had this conversation on stream. You fucking unk. Fucking dumbass. Oblivion overrated. Oblivion L. And it's just because you didn't grow up with it, I guess, at the right time. And then it re-releases with fancier graphics, and you're like, this game's great. Fucking, I love Oblivion. It's crazy. That's crazy, dude. People can change. Okay, but they didn't change the game, dude. They just showed it to you, and then you... Boomer hates being wrong, hates being right. You know what? You got me. You got me. I guess I just always got to nitpick, you know? Nothing ever satisfies me. Kind of the human condition in a way. In a way, I'm just another highly evolved ape trying to make it in this crazy world. Speaking of the Australian, no, not in any way. Speaking of the Australian election, in no way at all. I did want to say, we talked about it briefly. If you guys don't know, it was similar to Canada in that the Conservative Party here in blue was dominating in January and then had a collapse after Trump came to office. Oh, wait, yeah, I need chat. Similar. There's some differences, though. Some subtle differences from Canada. But if you were like broad scoping it, it's a similar story where like Trump caused enough chaos and panic and reorganizing around the incumbent to let them win. This doesn't show, but the red team, the Labor won. It's reversed there. Yeah, the Conservative Party's in blue and the Liberal Party's in red. But, you know, looking into it more, and I did talk to some Australians, the vibe I got was that this is just a pretty bad candidate. This is Peter Dutton of the of the coalition. And he was Voldemort-esque, and he just was particularly uniquely as a person not easy to vote for. Like you know what I'm saying? Like my understanding is that the Trump effect was real, but not as big as Canada. They weren't like, you know, Trump didn't threaten to invade Australia. He wasn't, you know, he's not challenging Australian sovereignty. He didn't tweet that much about Australia, and the tariff on Australia wasn't as big as the one on Canada. So all in all, while people were annoyed about it, it wasn't like as big a deal, but it made people think about how like they don't like the guy that was very similar to Trump. He wasn't doing 52nd state. You know what I'm saying? And again, this guy, Peter Dutton, did do like, make Australia great again. You know, he was Trump light. He had Trump's campaign manager, visiting to help, you know, so they ran a campaign where he was like Temu Trump. That's what the Labor Party would say. And this worked really well. My understanding is this Temu Trump line stuck. They said it a lot. It stuck and it hit. And so it made him seem like a Trump light, that hurt his polls pretty badly. And he lost his own seat, by the way. Much like Pierre Poilievre in Canada, not only did they lose the election, but he lost his seat, which was traditionally conservative for a long time. So like it was a pretty dramatic loss. Again, if you look at Parliament, unlike Canada, the Labour Party won overwhelmingly. They have a majority. In Canada, they have a minority leadership government where they have to partner with someone else to get over the halfway part. But here they have a majority. And so Anthony Albanese will have the chance to do whatever his policies are. Now, obviously, those policies need to fix something. Australia is still in a bad way. Still, cost of living is the number one issue. Still, housing is is a top issue. Like they are mad about it. Something has to change, but they'll have a chance to, you know, try and do that. They need to lock in. They basically have to lock in. But it is possible that, you know, a different party could even rise up here, and this traditional center-right party might, I mean, it's a terrible loss for them. They lost ground in a lot of places. So we don't even know what'll happen. I will say there's a larger story here. Maybe this is a separate topic. Let's just talk about this separately. Is that, okay. I was reading a good article about this. The separate topic is that it feels like there used to be some sort of, let's say in America, for example, there was two wings of the Republican side, which was like the center right, which you might call like a Mitt Romney, a Jeb Bush style. And then there's like the MAGA right, which is like Donald Trump. Okay. And in America, Donald Trump killed the center-right party, skinned them, and is wearing it like a hat. Okay? Like, it doesn't exist anymore. It's fucking dead. The center-right is 100% gone. They've been wiped out completely. They don't exist. It's not real. But it feels like globally, any type of like center-right party is getting destroyed. Like, if you're going right-wing, you have to go more MAGA, right? The more like really nationalist with it. You can't, the center-right just doesn't exist. And then on the left-wing side, there's still a battle. It feels like there's still a center-right versus the more, like, for example, Bernie AOC versus the Biden-Harris kind. There's still a battle there. They're still like trying to figure out. That is still a fight that is being, I don't want to call it a fight, maybe. Maybe it's not a fight to everybody, but there's a struggle there. But on the right side, it's like the centrist side is dead. It's just gone. It's been wiped out. And so I think these election results, outside of maybe Germany, where Merz was a center-right candidate who did edging, pause. But like someone like Dutton, who is, many of his policies were actually similar to Labor, dude. He is a center-right candidate with some fringe tactics. He's out. Like, he did really poorly. Pierre Poilievre was like a center-right candidate, maybe a little more anti-woke than previously, but he's also out. Like, the center-right is collapsing in most places. I don't know many places where it's holding. So I thought that was interesting. I thought that was an article I read that was interesting about that, where it sort of frames things that I'm seeing in the world in a different way, especially there's still that division and battle on the left because it hasn't been, I guess, decided yet in the way that it has. That's not true for Canada. If they were more moderate, less MAGA, they would have won. I mean, I'm open to that opinion, but the opinion I heard for Australia, for example, was that they didn't differentiate themselves, the center-right, on very much outside of a few short-term things, and then I guess they had this nuclear thing. That was it. They had one idea that broke through. And I don't know that Pierre Poilievre would have won if he was more... I think they would have just stuck with Carney in that case. Maybe I'm wrong. I guess in Canada, it's so anti-Trump that being seen like as Trump-ish hurt them. But I don't know. It's tough to say. Definitely, I think Canada's a unique situation, even more so than Australia, because it was so much about Trump. But what I'm trying to say about Australia is that it wasn't as much, from my understanding. He was still a factor, I'd say a big factor. But in Canada, he was like the main factor. And in Australia, he's one of many. And then obviously, yeah, I think that's what I want to say. Bro, I'm not going to lie. Trump's been in politics too long. I feel like he's been around for 12 years long. He has, dude. Trump has been around, not 12 years, but something like 9. 9 years has been all about Trump. I mean, who was I talking with where I said, your entire adult life has been Donald Trump and GTA 5. Yeah, basically 10 years, bro. 10 years. Like, for many Zoomers, your entire, like, thinking life of, like, awareness has been GTA 5 and Donald Trump, isn't it? It's hard to imagine a world before or after because it's been so dominant. And I think there is a push for change off of that. I'm excited to watch the meeting tomorrow. Is it public or is it private? Based on the, have you said thank you Zelensky meeting, I'm hoping it's not public, to be honest. It would be fun stream content. But if you guys don't know, Mark Carney, the new Prime Minister of Canada, is meeting Trump at the White House tomorrow. I don't know if it's streaming or not. I'm 30 and haven't been able to vote in a presidential election that doesn't contain Trump. Yeah, it's wild, dude. That's fucking wild. Oh, I have one more example. I'm sorry. Wait. If we talk about this, Adish, cut it back. I had one more example, and that is like in the UK. I don't know if we have any UK frogs here, but the center right, which are the Tories in the UK, are fucking collapsed, dude. They're gone. And Nigel Farage and his like reform, which is more of a Trumpian MAGA type party, make UK great again. That party is rising pretty substantially in the polls, while the Tories are just dead. So I think that whole, like, if you are Mitt Romney-esque in today's world, it doesn't exist. There's no voter for you, or at least not enough to. It's kind of been wiped out. Yeah, Reform won a lot. Reform has done quite well. So it's basically Harry Potter. Yeah, basically what I'm saying is Wingardium Leviosa to the polls if you are not center right. It's 100% personality over policy because everyone thinks politicians just lie anyway. I think there's a truth to that, especially younger people who especially have good reason to think that way. You know, I definitely feel like there's a sense that all politicians are going to lie to me. And so I'm going to pick the ones I like. Elderly Canadians voted Liberal. I mean, my understanding is elderly Canadians voted almost entirely on the Trump issue, and the Canadian pride and the nationalism issue. That was based on the polling, elderly Canadians were like hard for Carney for that reason. I have not watched the NYC mayoral elections. Are they interesting? Particularly interesting? Is the Republican Party dead after Trump dies? I assume you mean steps down in 2028. You're not talking about some kind of... but no, they're not. That's not the case. But you know, I think I've read some fair analysis that would say they haven't found someone who can do what he does, which is unify a broad. I mean, there's groups within the Republican Party that actually hate each other, that are united under him. Like there's the tech right, and there's like the Steve Bannon right, and there's these different groups, and they only unite because of him. And I don't think there's some. I don't think Vance can do it. I don't see anyone that has his ability to, I don't know, do the YMCA no matter what's going on. I haven't seen. Did you see the contested Singapore elections? They weren't contested, were they? I mean, there was something, but the PAP won again pretty cleanly, as they always do, because it's not a real election. Atrioc, why do you think leftists only boo Biden, Kamala, Bernie, and AOC about Gaza but never Trump? That's a fucking heavy question. Usually I don't answer these. It's a terrible thing, but I'll give you an answer here. I think the reason they do it is because they probably only think that group has a chance of listening. I mean, in terms of like showing up to protest, I think they do it because that group has a chance of change, and I think they don't do it because that would be my answer, is that it's probably more common at places where they think they can make a change. Diggy Dog Dave, thank you for the 23 months. Some people think Vance is the exquise. What? This is a Dune term? Excuse me? I have no idea what you're asking, Diggy Dog Dave. I don't know. He's the Dune guy? I don't know the Dune term. Is that the bald guy? He's the Squeaks? I think he just doesn't have the... Listen, for his many faults, Trump has some kind of, first of all, ability to get people interested in talking about him for years. They don't get bored of it. People that don't like him, people that do like him, they can always talk about him. There's some kind of riz in that. There's some kind of, the cameras on him. He's a content king in a way that Vance is not. In a way that is suited for especially our modern political moment, our social media content brain moment. And he's, I don't know. He's just got he's got a skill set that is not easily matched by Vance or the other people that stood up to him, like Jeb Bush. Vance would look bad dressed as the Pope. Yeah, for sure. The House Marathon is on Saturday so that everyone can participate because of work and school, etc. We can do a longer day. House Marathon is Saturday. We're watching one House Ep tonight, which I'll probably do here in a few minutes. We're going to watch one to get us back in the swing of things. And then the big marathon will be on Saturday. That's the plan. Okay. It'll be fun. It'll be wild. It'll be good. Ghost Father, thank you for the 5 gifties. Wait, there was a fucking thing I wanted to watch before. Oh yeah, this. So I like the Now You See Me movies, and apparently they're making another one called Now You Don't. And I saved the trailer to watch with you. They're slop. They are sloppy, sloppy movies. But I want to see the trailer. Okay, let's see. As a little piggy oinker, I love slop, and I want to watch this slop. Now you see nothing. Now you see me now again forever 2 IMAX. Bro, looks like something I'm watching high. I don't know. Doesn't look so good to me. Maybe I'm, but I'll watch it. I'll watch it. Because I love a good little sloppy slop in the trough. You ever just oink up to the trough and it's empty and you feel like fucking shitty, but you come up one day and it's full of slop and you can just pig out in there? It's great. It makes your whole day. You just turn off your brain and fucking pig out. Speaking of movies, did you see Sinners? I talked about Sinners at the beginning of the stream. I love Sinners. It was really good. I'm going to talk about it more after a week or a few days. I want to give people a chance to see it without spoilers before I talk about it. But then I'll be down to do it. All right, let's see. I think we should watch House, but I want to watch this video on why Americans keep buying McMansions, because it seemed interesting and I flagged it as watch with stream. It's also only 9 minutes long. Let's watch it because I want to know, why are Americans, I didn't know Americans were buying houses at all. Why are we buying McMansions?
McMansion. This is a McMansion. This too. And so is this one. You've probably seen a version of one in an American suburb.
Okay.
It's not a style of house. It can be Tudor one day, farmhouse the next day.
It's over 3,000 square feet. It's usually in the suburbs, and it's usually done in kind of a slap shot way. So a big house that maybe is, for lack of a better word, a little bit tacky.
Despite their, at times, poor reputation, they've never really gone away.
These are the houses that I sell most often. I was just in a bidding war of this exact type of house.
Okay.
And it's part of a larger trend. Home sizes in the U.S. increased more than 20% between 1993 and 2023, while household sizes have decreased.
The McMansion didn't really go away. It's just that we started viewing housing in a different way.
People are making money on McMansions, but are they making as much money as they could have made on a different type of home for the same price point? And that's sort of a different question.
Okay. So how did McMansions become so popular? And if they're considered a bad investment, why do Americans keep buying them?
Tell me more, CNBC, why Americans still love McMansions, okay? I mean, just being for real, though, I'm trying to think my guess. Obviously, Americans like things bigger in general, especially, if you're outside of a city. People want things big. They want a big truck. They want a big fucking car. They want a bigger house. I think that's part of it. But also, outside of the city where things are insanely expensive, a lot of places only build houses like this. If you're in the suburbs of a lot of big areas of commerce, this is the kind of house you fucking get. This is what exists. There's not a lot of other options. So I would, I was thinking Atlanta was what I was thinking of, dude. Atlanta is all McMansions for fucking endless miles outside of the city proper, and you can't live in the city proper. It's crazy expensive. Especially if you want a family. So, I wonder if there's probably more of a zoning problem than just a demand one, but we'll see what they say.
McMansions first appeared in American suburbs in the 1980s. Middle-class families wanted bigger homes, and McMansions were the answer, a slice of the American dream.
Are you justifying your home? I live in a fucking small place in the city, okay? I live in not a McMansion. But Ari's talking about 3 kids, so maybe I will one day. Ari's talking about fucking 3. I don't know where the hell she got the number 3 from, dude. I said 1. Let's start with 1. She talking about 3, so you never know where it'll end up.
So they were produced en masse and cheaply. A couple of factors played a big part in their rise. The first was the deregulation of the mortgage industry. New laws passed in the 80s that allowed banks to make some risky financial moves.
Ronald Reagan!
Like allowing adjustable rate mortgages, or mortgages with interest rates that are variable.
Dude, adjustable rate mortgages is the dumbest fucking idea. It's just lying and tricking financially illiterate people. It is just tricking people. That is all it is, dude. My parents have one. I've never understood it. Just being clear, like, just quick paint here. Adjustable rate mortgage is like, you know, you're going to buy this nice little house. Oh, it does not so nice. There, now it's nice. Okay. Now, normally in America, you might get a 30-year mortgage, 30-year fixed, and it'll be fixed at a certain interest rate. So let's say it's 7%. It's like, I don't know, it's like 8 right now, something like that. So that's your payment. So if you're taking out 500 grand, you're paying 7% interest for the 30 years, okay? So you'll know your payment. Month one, you're going to know your payment. But an adjustable rate mortgage might be like 0% for 5 years or 2 years or whatever. And then it jumps up to 10 or 8 or 12 or whatever. It jumps up. And so you look at your payment in the first years and like, I can afford that. That's awesome. And you're not really thinking about how once it jumps up, you're probably not making a ton more money. And this only works, by the way, like you're usually underwater financially unless your house is much more valuable than it was when you acquired it. So adjustable rate mortgages are just kind of scammy. They're just kind of like, they're just a way to get someone to do a deal. But because most Americans look at the payment. Whether it's a car or a house or anything, if they're borrowing for it, they look at the monthly payment. And so with this, it makes your monthly payment really low at the time you buy it, but really high down the road. It's a big problem in the UK too. Yeah, exactly. In the UK, I mean, most mortgages aren't even fixed 30-year. And so as interest rates go up every few years, you'll have a readjustment where rates go way higher. But what if you pay it off fast? If you paid it off fast, sure, that's fine. I mean, you could do that in either way. But most people don't. Just nobody. It's very uncommon to pay your house off fast. Most people aren't doing it. You have to have a lot of money. You have to if you have a lot of money, you just buy it in cash. The 30-year fix, by the way, is basically an American thing. This is kind of rare elsewhere. Doesn't the bank stop you from paying off too quick? I'm not going to speak for all contracts and deals. Maybe there's some that have penalties if you pay it off too early, but no, you can. You can pay it off early. I certainly, yeah, in my experience, no, you can pay it off early, but they just don't expect you to do it. Maybe credit score. Maybe it's credit score thing. Yeah. Penalty for paying early. I mean, it does exist. It happens for cars too. Some of them make most of the money on your interest payments over a long term. That's where they get the real juice. So if you just pay it off early, they get screwed. They don't get screwed, but they lose the money they're expecting. So they'll have rules where you can't pay it off early.
Shifting the risk from the lender to the borrower. Borrowers who couldn't qualify for the traditional mortgages were able to get ARMs.
The adjustable rate mortgage really changed how people viewed home buying in America. And in fact, there was a lot of pushback against the adjustable rate mortgage because people thought it was a scam.
It was also a time when wages were growing rapidly, and the inequality gap was widening. Big homes were a way for people to show off.
Because if you're seeing, I can have a 4,500 square foot home with, 5% down, and I can get this mortgage that I'm not really qualified for, and people jump on that.
In doing a simple Google search, you'll find many different types of McMansions. One common theme beyond size is often the number of amenities. A gym, a bar,
God damn.
a large entertainment room, a basement. The list goes on.
Can you imagine, dude, the fucking American
Bar,
dream?
a large...
Hit up your own personal bar, sit down in your own personal movie theater. Don't talk to your wife or kids. Don't leave the house for a month straight. Just fucking vibing. Just W's, dude. You do not need a third place when your house has 5 places. Just fucking sit there.
Large entertainment room, a basement. The list goes on.
That amenity-driven plan, that is a specific type of plan. That is what the McMansion really is. There's just so much space, and it's hard to integrate it under one roof.
And many were built with cheap materials, like new lumber or mass-produced stucco, fake stone veneer, or vinyl siding. Also a result of the new technological developments in building in the 20th century.
Don't worry me none.
In 2007, the median price of a McMansion was about $520,000. They accounted for 15% of all suburban homes at that time.
They seemed like a really good investment. You're like, great, I can have this big house and I can afford it, and I'll be able to resell it for more than I paid for it. And to a large extent, that is true.
Oops.
The American financial system is rocked to its foundation as top Wall Street institutions topple under a mountain of debt.
The abundance of subprime mortgages and low interest rates came to a screeching halt in September 2007. As interest rates rose, many borrowers couldn't afford their higher monthly payments, and therefore defaulted on their loans. In some cases, homeowners owed more than their homes were worth, which led to widespread foreclosures and a bankruptcy crisis.
Until home prices stop falling, things just aren't going to get any better.
Home building activity declined sharply, creating a significant gap between supply and demand that led to a housing shortage. McMansions gained a reputation for being a bad investment.
This house looks like it was designed by someone who maybe saw a house once in their life, but either had some sort of visual issues or was wearing kaleidoscope glasses that you get during Halloween.
And instead of buying McMansions, Americans downsized or got into home improvement.
They wanted to conserve on gas bills, water bills, air conditioning, all of their utilities. They felt like they only needed maybe a smaller home, a ranch, something practical. That was a very, very short-lived notion.
And now it's back?
Buyers eventually came around. According to Realtor.com, McMansions represented up to a quarter of all...
Too bad I was in school instead of dropping out and buying a house. Yeah, this time was when you guys should have been buying a house. Okay, 2010, 2011. Why the fuck weren't you guys in a market buying a 30-year fixed at 1 or 2% on a house? What was your fucking problem? What were you doing? Playing Nintendo Wii? Dumbass. Should have been out there fucking in the real estate market, grinding.
All home sales in the years leading up to the pandemic. The trend accelerated in the years since. Yet it's become harder to afford a home than ever before. Mortgage rates in 2025 will likely remain high, while home prices have skyrocketed. Construction costs have inflated too. Building a home is incredibly pricey.
It's good though, because our ever-growing friendship with Canada will lead to cheaper lumber as we import more from our northern neighbors. So it'll be fine. It'll be fine. The strong partnership will get the lumber into our hands.
Prices are expected to rise even more, with potential tariffs imposed by the Trump administration. And that's helped McMansions.
They are becoming the choice of first-time home buyers who don't want a 1960s split level, but can't maybe go into the price bracket of a new construction home.
McMansions have in fact appreciated at nearly the same rate as regular homes when looking at Zillow data. Though it's important to note that Zillow doesn't...
Dude, a 5-bedroom home, that's crazy. That's crazy. You gotta have a big fucking...
break out a McMansion from other 5-bedroom homes. The McMansion Premium, or the extra money buyers are willing to pay for a larger, amenity-filled home versus another one has fallen.
Still a lot.
If you are stuck in the middle of the city with a large family and you're just out of space and looking for a larger home, but maybe the stuff near you isn't as affordable and the stuff that's big enough that's being built right now isn't affordable, then this is a good opportunity for you.
McMansions are less than 20% of all home sales. In Bergen County, New Jersey, one of the most sought-after real estate markets outside the New York City metro, Rubenstein says McMansions are as popular as any other house.
Even these...
That's a McMansion? Isn't that just a mansion? Am I crazy? What actually defines Mick? It's just a fucking mansion, bro. That's a big-ass fucking house with fucking acreage. And...
Even these houses are getting multiple offers. I bid myself... For a client, $100,000 over ask, and there were many offers above.
Experts say their investment value is determined on a case-by-case basis.
Nah, fuck that.
McMansions located near cities
don't do it.
appreciate better than ones further out in the suburbs. The desirability of the zip code matters too, of course.
If they're really far out from the city and really just like in a completely amenity-poor area, then yeah, they sit on the market forever because no one wants to drive 20 minutes to go to the grocery store.
I really don't think it's about...
That's the American dream, lady. I need to be at least 20 minutes from the nearest anything, okay? Because I want to be on the open road. I want to drive. And by the way, I'm going to Instacart my groceries so I can stay at home and watch TikToks on the TV in my private theater, okay? That's my fucking plan. And if you aren't fucking with it, you can get the hell out, dude. That's clearly painted grass. Oh, maybe. I don't. It looks like it could be sod, right? Just stops here. Doesn't look good though, man. Just this fucking house with actually nothing around, not even built. Fucking 25 minutes from anywhere.
I really don't think it's about the house itself. I really think it's about, you know, the location, buying in a place that people are going to want to buy in 5 or 10 years.
It also hinges on the construction.
Some of these large homes with large yards that need maintenance, with maybe lower quality building materials that need to be replaced, can have a higher cost of ownership than something that was built a little more sturdy and built to last.
Right.
Some McMansions do take a price cut, as the more unique amenities like a fake river in a living room or a movie theater aren't for everyone. And any home older than 20 years.
A fake river in the living room. Damn, what kind of house is this for a regular person? Even like this is crazy. This is, you need that. You need that.
Or a movie theater.
And why is the movie theater medieval themed with stone? What is this? What are you watching in this?
Aren't for everyone. And any home older than 20 years will likely need repairs. Yet it will be especially crucial in 2025 to evaluate just how much maintenance a home will need. New tariffs on steel and aluminum, a volatile economy, and crackdowns on immigration are expected to make construction even more pricey. If there's a lot to fix, a McMansion would be a terrible investment, even if the price per square foot is relatively low in comparison.
Yikes. Buying a home is seldom a bad investment. And even when it is kind of a tax.
Yeah, I just want to be clear. This guy works in real estate, I assume, or that type of talk is why we got into the problem in 2007, bro. Realtors in 2006. I will say it's seldom a year-to-year bad investment, and then it has the bad part comes all at once.
Wacky, suburban, McMansion. What we're seeing across the market at all price tiers and size tiers is an increase in price reductions right now. So for buyers, if you're looking to get into a bigger home, these McMansions might be a good option.
I think the only ones that have not held their value as well are the ones that look like you walk in and you're like, okay, it's 1995. So people don't want to be transported back in time. They
That'd be
want
kinda
something
fun.
that's been maintained. People want a new construction house.
Interesting. I don't know how much I learned from that, but it was an interesting discussion. Look, the real estate market is different all over America, but there's definitely areas like in Texas where they built a bunch of McMansions and they aren't selling. And the prices are dropping consistently and nobody's buying. And it's fucking bad. And if you had bought in early, you're like one of the only people in your neighborhood that bought, and you notice they haven't filled the houses around them and they're starting to rot and it's driving down your property value, I'll just be careful, bro. I'll be careful with an investment like that. I can squat in them just fine. Wait, Linkus is here? User Linkus7. No, we just mentioned Lincoln, I see. Let's watch a little House. We haven't been to we haven't watched House in a while. House Night returns. What is going on with our favorite insane doctor? What has he been up to?